y'all, it's your girl PamulahBaby, and I'm coming to you live from my home. As you guys can see, last weekend or 2 weekends ago, I was in the Bahamas with my trucking girls, and I enjoyed myself, and I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And I want to also give everyone a big thank you. I finally hit over 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. But today, what we're going to be talking about is branding. My brand in particular. And the things that I have experienced in the last year. So for those who have been subscribed to me from day one, you guys know that I have a few videos when I first came out into the trucking game pertaining to mental health, drama inside of relationships when it comes to trucking, comedy skits. And that was about 2.5 years ago, pre-TikTok. All right. So I initially came into the game wanting to expose other things and other aspects of trucking. I felt like the market, it's in particular, YouTube had already been saturated with the trucking game when it comes to how to be a truck driver, how to run your truck, how to make money in trucking, which companies you should go to, etc., etc., etc. I'm not against any of those things, but I personally feel like I have not been in the game long enough to give sound advice on trials and error, because I haven't gone through enough trials and error to give advice. Now, not saying if you ask me and if I know and I feel strongly about the information that I'm going to give you, then I'll give it. But if it's something that I'm not an expert in, then I'll just redirect you to someone else. All right. I get it. Most folks come to YouTube when they put in the search engine for trucking information. That's what they're looking for. But trucking is so much more, in my opinion. And to be honest, I don't have time for the big peen measuring contest when it comes to trucking. You can post your numbers, on Instagram, for an example. You had a good week without the details, because, you can almost assure that it's going to be some asshole that's going to come up under your post trying to challenge it. Yeah, those numbers look good, but what did you do to get it? How many miles did you run? How much fuel did you spend? Sir, ma'am, $5,000 net is good for me. It may not be good for you, but it's good for me. Why are you trying to be a whole accountant up in my pockets, trying to figure out how much money I made and how much I spent, when that, sir, is none of your business? I just don't have the time or the patience for y'all. So that's why I stay in my lane, creating beautiful content surrounding trucking so folks can get an idea of trucking outside of the dollar. And maybe I feel that way because I feel so passionate about trucking. Like, I love driving my truck. I really do. I enjoy the lifestyle. Could I feel that way about the lifestyle had I not had the support of friends and family? Maybe not. A lot of folks can't say that they feel that way about trucking because they don't have the support, or they just simply don't enjoy the job. And it's not for everybody. I get it. But because I enjoy trucking so much, I just had to create skits, create content on all social media platforms wrapped around trucking. And why I feel so strongly about that, because even once I get out of the truck, I'm still going to have my hands in the trucking industry. There are so many things you can do inside of the trucking industry that people are unaware of. I want to go into the grave with my foot and hands in the trucking industry. That's how passionate I feel about trucking. I enjoy creating content. It gives me something to do. It's therapy for me. I enjoy inspiring people, encouraging folks, being truthful, because I feel like there's not enough of that going around. There's not every content creator that's on social media or in social media that is actually being honest enough about trucking. You got a lot of folks saying there's no money in trucking, but clearly that's not true, because when you ask them what they do, they drive a truck. So if there's no money in trucking, then why are you still trucking? But we're gonna leave that for another video, right? And I'm trying not to be all over the place, because y'all already know how I can be. But I just want to give you guys, some history on my brand. I understand that I may not be for everybody. I'm just simply not going to be for everybody. And I think I need to keep that in the back of my mind, because I feel like I'm putting so much thought, time, and energy into my content that it should just be popping. And that just doesn't seem to be the case for me right now. But at the same time, I feel like it's a blessing, because I'm gaining my subscribers, I'm gaining my followers organically. And when I say that, I mean, people who follow me, they see my content, they're more likely to stay, because I'm not a one-trick pony. And speaking of one-trick ponies, I don't get much of negative comments, but when I do, it seems that people try to hit below the belt, and they want to put you or put me into a box. Oh, I thought you were so positive. Oh, when's the next skit coming out? Sir, ma'am, you do know folks can't sing, dance, write music, produce, and all these things. You do know you have people who can build a house and work on cars, multi-talented. You know what I mean? Just because you have this, one asset may be, or attribute may be stronger than the other. I get it. But I am every woman. Okay? I've never been fond of a box. I'm not going to let you put me in a box. Those are your standards. And if I don't meet your standards or your expectations, then you can always hit the unfollow button. Yeah, unsubscribe button. Listen, I feel that eventually my content will get in the right hands at the right time, at the right place, and then it'll be later for the haters. Plain and simple, and I'm also a firm believer that a lot of times folks who are, downplaying others, they doing it from a air mattress in a mammy house on the floor. That's just my opinion. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but that's just how I personally feel. So it's no real reason for me to get into it with folks in the comment section. I just say what I need to say, and if they continue with it, I block them. Plain and simple. And the other comment that I get a lot of times, that these young girls are feeling like they're being funny. Oh, you were old auntie. But first of all, you wouldn't know I was an auntie if I didn't tell you I was 45. And if I was your auntie, you would be a lot more respectful. And thirdly, keep living, baby. Keep living. Keep living. I'm confused with the old jokes. I really am. I'm really confused about that. I mean, isn't that the goal? Is that not the goal? To eventually, if you're 20, to be 45. And if you're 45, to eventually be 80. I just don't get it. So how do you feel that is an insult? Because it's not. It's really not. I feel like I look damn good for my age. Okay? And a lot of you 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds couldn't hold a candle to me. All right. And in real life, your auntie probably could never. So yeah, I'm going to say what I need to say to you as well. And then if you continue to go back and forth, I'm just going to block you. Plain and simple. I said what I said. You said what you needed to say. And the end. THEEN. That's just how that's going to go. Right? And I'm also getting it from the older women. I got a comment the other day on my Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram at PamulahBaby, you know that I post somewhat risque pictures. I feel like I'm a beautiful woman, and it's all a part of my marketing and branding, because I'm in an industry that is predominantly ran by men. And not to say that sex sells, because I did talk about that in a previous video on YouTube. I can't remember the title right now. But we all know humans are visual people. You need something to grab them. But once they hit the follow button, they'll see that I'm more than just a pretty face and a fat behind. They'll see that. And what I like to do is build engagement on all platforms. I try to respond to every comment. I try to acknowledge every comment. I try to answer every question. It's also hard creating content now with all these new community guidelines put in place by all social media platforms, meaning Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The censorship is killing brands like mine, because I want to be myself. I only know how to be myself. Okay? Anything watered down, anything unoriginal, is not going to come off well to my audience. So I really wish that social media platforms would allow us to be ourselves somewhat. If we're not talking about killing anybody, racism, suicide, drug use, then we're just having simple fun. What is the problem in that? It's very discouraging to post a video and 5 minutes later it's taken down because a social media admin took something out of context that they have no idea on what it is that meant, because they are from another background. They don't understand the lingo. It's hurting brands like mine, and I'm just simply fed up, y'all. Anyway, so I try to respond to everybody and acknowledge every comment. That's the purpose and point of me creating content. I'm not one of those creators that create content, throw it out there, and they only respond to maybe their friends, celebrity comments, or someone who has a bigger platform than them. I'm rooting for the underdog, because I believe I am an underdog. In this game of branding and marketing and content creating, larger platforms are looking at the smaller platforms, stealing their idea, concept, word for word, line for line. Everything in their content is identical to the smaller brands' content. The only thing different is that the character has a different appearance, and they're getting all of the credit. It's just not cool. It's not. I mean, and then you have people on the smaller brand comment section, actually poking at the creator as if they didn't create the idea first. Like, where do you do that at? I noticed that some creators do that. And in my opinion, that's sad, because your followers, I don't want to say made you, but they are the reason that you create content in the first place. And I'm not saying you have to have these long drawn out discussions under your content, but you can at least say hi or hit the heart next to their comment. But the real sole purpose of this video is because I have my days where I just really feel like walking away from it all. I enjoy inspiring people. I get, DMs all the time. In particular, now that I'm speaking about DMs, in particular, I get DMs from, other folks that want to get into the content creating game, and they want to create content. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. I have no idea. But when they hit me in my inbox, and I'm like, yeah, let's collaborate. I have that on my Instagram page. Like, I'm down for collaborations. I would like to collaborate with more folks. But being that I'm in South Florida, there's just not a lot of folks to actually do collaborations with, as far as doing skits or, regenerating posts. I don't know. But anyway, I get DMs a lot and I'm down for it. But I get folks hitting me up and they're wanting me to basically create the content idea, direct the content, edit the content, and then we submit it. That's not how it works. Collaborations mean two or more people coming together with ideas and making it happen. That's what that means to me, in my mind. Not me doing all the work and you just reaping the benefits. That's a no-go. This thing, social media, creating content, being on YouTube, I don't care what anyone says. It takes courage and thick skin to do this. All right, I've been fortunate enough to have not experienced a lot of negativity, but I've gone to other people's pages and I'm like, oh my God, how does this person have the strength to keep going? Because again, it goes back to me posting some sort, almost risque videos or posts, pictures on Instagram, being this, it's all about the visual. And if you look any kind of way outside of normal, listen, people are coming for you. They have no filter. Folks can be savage. They can be heartless. They don't care. Some folks, it's just their MO to get online, find who they can find, and break them down, break their spirit. But if this is something in your heart, and I don't care the age, the color, the gender, I'm 45 and I create content. Some people may say, man, you're too old for TikTok. Man, listen. Would you say I was too old to go back to school and get a degree? Yeah, you would say, keep going. Yeah, if that's something that you want to do, why not? Would you tell a person who's been paralyzed from the waist down, who believes in him or herself that she will walk again, would you tell her or him to give up? So why tell me, oh, you're 45, you have no business on TikTok, you have no business creating content? But I'm making people laugh. I'm giving people hope, and encouraging them to get into the trucking industry if they want to. I'm not telling anybody they can't do this. Trucking is a world that no one really understands unless you're in it. I've gotten comments where people say, I had no idea you guys slept in a truck, that it was a bed in the back. Where do you guys shower? They have no idea. All they see is this big vehicle driving on the highway, delivering products, and that's it. They have no idea. It's all this how should I say it? What's the word I'm looking for? Perception that all truck drivers make buku money. And that's not true. it's easy to get a CDL. Anybody can just sit behind the wheel and drive. And that's not true. So I'm trying to break down all the stereotypes, all the myths about trucking through my content. Plain and simple. Yeah, I do some stereotypical things when it comes to, companies and stuff like that. But that's just to make, those jokes are really for truck drivers. Those are our inside jokes. People outside of trucking wouldn't get that. And I don't think I'm offending anybody, because we all had to start somewhere. I didn't just get the keys to my truck and became my own operator. I had to start at 2 companies before I got my own truck. Without company drivers, there's already a driver shortage. So, I mean, I don't belittle anybody. But again, this video is about branding, And like I said, I have my moments where I feel like giving up, because I feel like I'm putting in so much time, energy, thought, and effort into my content, and it's just not being noticed fast enough. So I have to be my own cheerleader sometimes in order to keep going, and I have to remember why it is that I'm doing what I do. And another reason why I continue to keep going is because of my friends and family. It's like sometimes they see what I can't see, and they're like, no, man, keep going. You're doing a good job. It's not going to happen overnight. I get that, but it's just like, we all want, instant grits when we know, the slow cooked grits are better. Me just being a human and venting to you guys right now, that's pretty much it, But, yeah, it's just been, now I can't say it's been a long road, because I just, from my hiatus, it's been, I want to say, a strong year to maybe 10 months that I've been consistent with pushing out content. And I'm stronger on some platforms than others. I get it. It doesn't, numbers don't always translate from one platform to the next. And perhaps, again, that's just, people want what they want from you or from me. They see that I'm just somebody who's funny, and that's what they need, a laugh. So they laugh and they keep moving, and I'm cool with that too. But I just really wish people would be more 3-dimensional with their thoughts and what they want to experience if they really see a brand that they like and they would like to see them do more. I've even seen on, what's the comedian's name? Tony Baker platform. He does the voiceovers on Instagram. And he's talking about, he may get into politics, talk about what's going on currently. I've read the comments where people be like, man, stick to comedy. This man has been, if you know Tony Baker, he's been doing comedy way before there was an Instagram, way before there was a TikTok. So he's kind of like, I don't want to say a legend, but the man has put in his dues. He's more than just a comedian. He's a man, for one. He's a man first. But people don't see it that way. But love to say or have an opinion about having an opinion about them. How does this work? I'm really confused. But we're not going to sit here and talk about Tony Baker. I'm just using him as an example, right? But yeah. So I'm going to use this video to encourage smaller platforms, or anybody who wants to get into the content creating game. You have to find your support system. That's first. Secondly, you have to believe in yourself and believe in what it is that you're doing. Stay true to you, because I've been guilty of this. I'll see other creators and I'll try to maybe, I don't want to say emulate, because it's hard for me to emulate somebody because it just doesn't feel natural to me. But try to stay true to yourself. Oh, did y'all think I forgot? Do you know how hard it is to keep pushing your brand forward when you have haters sometimes coming to your post, reporting your post because you looked a certain way or you said something that they didn't like, or simply because their lifetime achievement is to be a troll? People are putting in time and effort to create content. If you don't like the video, simply unfollow. And 9 times out of 10, they wasn't following you anyway. There's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from things that you may hear and see in real life, because I do it. It's the only way. You know what I mean? Kevin Hart and Eddie Murphy and all these big comedians, they took, their real life experiences or experiences from other people and created a brand. And now, they are living legends. So don't let anybody tell you, well, you copying. I don't agree with copying. I don't agree with that. Like I said, stay true to yourself. People will recognize you being authentic, because I promise you, folks can tell when you're being fake through the phone. If I feel like a person is being fake through the phone, I'm not even gonna subscribe to you. That's just me, right? But yeah, stay genuine and true to yourself. Come in with a plan. Come in with the plan. If your plan is to be all across the board on all social media platforms, kind of have a plan on when you plan to produce content, when you have time to edit, what equipment you're going to use, who you would like to collaborate with, have a theme, just have a plan. Content that's all over the place, for me, you won't capture my because I need to know what you're about. If I can't take the time to get to learn who you are, then I'm just not interested. Because now I feel like you're just doing shit to just be doing it. And it's not fair to your audience, because a lot of times people want to know you. They want to know that they can come on your page and just joke and, you not take it serious. They want to be able to feel comfortable enough to comment under your content. All right. So have your plan in place. Be true to yourself. And don't forget to just keep going. It's not easy. It's going to be a long road. And just know everyone before you it has been through what you are going to experience. Yeah, and lastly, don't worry about those who you thought or you think should be supporting you, because it's confirmation that you're receiving support from those who don't know you. That should be validation enough that you are doing something right. You're on a journey. You have to look at this as a journey. Anything that you do in life, this is just a part of life. Not everyone is meant to go with you to the end. Everything has an expiration date. So as long as you keep that in the back of your mind, stay focused on those who are supporting you, you'll be just fine. All right. So yeah, that was just my little tidbit on my branding. And when I feel down about, not wanting to keep going, I reach out to my friends and family, and they give me those encouraging words, and I appreciate them. They know who they are. So I hope you guys have enjoyed your weekend. Be safe on the road. Mulah mob, just know that you are loved. Peace out.